Hey, how about them tops, son?
All day, SEC boys. SEC, they supposed to be SEC. Jersey all day, baby.
You're listening to the Red Out Podcast.
Hello everyone and welcome into a Red Out short clip here. This is from our latest episode. Hope you enjoy.
A rivalry discussion, as I said and teased a little bit earlier. We're not looking for quantity, we're looking for quality. So I'm going to put a little timer on my phone. I'm going to give you each, what do you say, 30 or 45 seconds?
Give each of them a minute. I think a minute.
1 minute?
Yeah,
Okay.
1 minute each.
You have 1 minute to sell me. I'll be the open-minded one because Jake's not going to be.
Yep, I refuse to change my mind. Once I plant my flag, it's there.
Okay. We're going to let you all have 1 minute.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, you get to go first, Jared.
All right, ready? On you, Ross. Okay, buddy.
All right, ready?
Anytime you're ready.
Okay, so let's not count this quick, brief description. You know, the debate I've been having with you guys kind of off and on for the past couple months is I honestly believe the Marshall rivalry right now is a better rivalry than the Middle rivalry. And I'll be the first to acknowledge that obviously I have a recency bias. I mean, we've only been playing Marshall really for, 6 years now since we joined Conference USA?
Yeah, sure.
But I really believe, just for a litany of reasons why it's a better rivalry. Number one, we are kind of in our own fan bias period. I mean, before the 90s, Middle was probably our number 3 or 4 rival. I mean, they were, after Eastern, Murray. I mean, Austin Peay was a better rivalry back in the day, before we left the OVC. So, I mean, let's not act like we've been diehard enemies with Middle since the 60s. They've been a conference rival, and then their rivalry came kind of out of convenience in the 90s and early 2000s. Marshall, the biggest reason I like their rivalry better than the Middle rivalry is because their fans care. You can hate them, you can hate Middle all you want, but if the other people you're going against don't give a crap, I mean, it's hard to really say it's a great rivalry. I mean, we go to Murfreesboro and Forest, but how often do you ever see Blue come to Bowling Green unless it's UK fans? Never. I mean, that's my big thing. It's like Marshall, you go there, you'll see them in Forest, you'll interact with them on Twitter. It matters. To Middle, you might have 2 fans on there, and that's kind of what really drives home the rivalry with me. Plus, we've had some really good games, really memorable, really tough games with them over the past 5 years. So that's kind of my whole thing.
Yeah, the dogs are yelling at him. So we're gonna get, depending on how fast Matt intros his argument. Yeah. We need to give him a minute 32.
I kind of explained the intro. So.
Okay, Jared or Matt? I'll let you take it next.
Matt, Jared, you agree.
Okay, so we'll let Jared go because Matt's going to throw out some stats and stuff and why it really matters. So.
Okay, I'll try to make my argument kind of brief because I'm actually going to have to peace out here in a second. Being on my music thing's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Starting out. I'm still old school enough that, I mean, it's Middle to me still. Even though they suck this year in basketball, then, I mean, we lost to them in football, which was terrible. But just anytime we lose to Middle, it just hurts more than Marshall. And, if we lose to Marshall, we're like, oh, well, they're a decent team. I mean, in football, they have that prestigious history. In basketball, they just went to the tournament last year, which sucked. I mean, obviously, the conference championship game last year definitely makes a lot of sense for fueling the rivalry because, I mean, if it would have been Middle that did that, though, I feel like the hatred would have been even more intense than it is now.
And then you'd have 2 people rebutting you online. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, Ross.
I mean,
give him the chance.
All right. You were cutting out, but the main thing for me is that Middle's always been, I don't know if y'all remember the time when Middle went to the Conference USA a year before we did, and we had that year in the Sun Belt where we didn't play them, and it was just really weird not having that rivalry that year, not being able to play them at all. It just felt like something was missing.
completely agree, Jared, but I've got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jared's peacing out. See you, Jared.
See you, buddy.
Mike,
See you,
see
Jared.
us.
Bye. All right, so it's my turn.
It's your turn, Matt. Go ahead.
You
man.
are up, man.
All right. So I'll tell you. I mean, of course, I'm a huge Western fan. I've been my whole life, and middle is something that's been there just about the whole time. And we used to go down to middle when I was in high school, even before I went to Western, and we would go to middle games. And there would be one time there was this guy that had like a 12-year-old baseball team, and he turned around and flipped us off because we wouldn't shut up. And they had people that would come like bother us while we're cheering and stuff, or like when we were losing or whatever, they would come and like try to piss us off. And then there was the guy that would wave his pom-poms, and one of the people in the band, they would like go up and act like they were party boying them and stuff. And
Boy, that shows our age.
like
Yes.
But anyway, that's the kind of stuff that makes me think about the passion between Western and middle. I don't have that with Marshall at all. Like, yeah, it pissed me off that they won last year, and to me, that's where it started me not liking them. But other than that, like, I went to the game when we won 67-66 or whatever, and I guess that pissed them off. But I didn't, it didn't really mean anything to us, honestly.
Well, I mean, my whole argument is now, like, over the past 5 or 6 years, obviously we're not going to have the history to overcome that, but we're building something with the Marshall rivalry, which I think there's been some stuff lacking on the middle side when it comes to the two-way aspect of the rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see,
I understand what you're saying.
I think for me, again, being closed-minded and insensitive, and not caring what the other people think, is rivalries for me. Like, I don't necessarily care how you feel.
Yeah.
Like, you're not a Western fan, so you can.
Well, I mean, okay. Here's a quick question though. Like, do you consider UK or U of L rivals? Because they are obviously don't give a shit about us.
I think
like
they're
where
big brother. I don't think
both
they're
teams
rivals.
passionately care.
Like, I honestly, again, because like I deplore the UK fan base with every fiber of my being. But as far as like hating the team, for me, it's all about aggression, like vitriol. Yeah. Like, if I don't deplore your very existence, I don't consider you a rival. And like, I've only ever had one negative experience with a Marshall fan, and that's because they were just being stupid and drunk. Like, that's not all of them. In fact, the Marshall fans that were in front of them, which were a bunch of like guys about college age, were super nice, and they'd be like, ignore them, they're dumb, I don't like them, they're not us, we like them. And that's amicable, and it's nice, and I like them, and I don't deplore them. Whereas as far as middle goes, I've had
disgusting.
I think for me, it's not necessarily about history. It's not about if the other team cares. It's not about anything. It's about how do I, as a human being, feel for your team and your fans. Mm-hmm. And because of how I have had interactions with the team, had interactions with their Twitter, interactions with their fans, it's more negative for me. Which that's why and I don't like the teams too. It goes down to like that kid is playing for Missouri State now, the trailer park kid. The one that tripped up Monty last year.
Dixon.
Yeah, I can't always forget his name. He transferred to Mizzou State, but I just don't like their players. I don't even like UK players. I don't care. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you like Elmore? I mean, I think Elmore is a perfect example of someone that we hate. On that side too. I mean. I think you can cherry pick one or other. I mean, I think it's building up. Like I said, this isn't an overnight thing. I'm counting the last couple of years. Who is that white trash quarterback that Marshall had that we hated? I can't think of his name, but I mean, they've definitely had their share of villains in the rivalry too.
I get what you're saying. Elmore kind of reminds me of like that. I hate to say like the douchey white kid on Duke's teams that they always have. You know what I'm saying? Like
Grayson Allen,
yeah, but not as bad because he's not. But I mean, I think he kind of turned. I mean, maybe he's turned in game, but like I don't know. I don't hate his face.
Yeah.
It's a purely emotional, non-logical argument for me, to be perfectly honest. But maybe in 10 or 15 years, I'll change my tune. Like, yeah, dude, screw Marshall. I don't like Marshall.
I'm down. I'm down in a few years, but right now, there's too much emotion against middle for just about every hardcore fan for either fan base, I think. Like, and I think about like.
I mean, so all 5 of their hardcore fans versus all of our hardcore fans.
That's right, all 5 of them. Screw them all.
And their burner Twitter accounts, yes.
The 30 burner Twitter accounts.
I don't understand. I really don't understand. Quick aside, the 100 miles of hate and the moonshot throwdown people who run that. More power to you guys. That's awesome that you guys run those accounts, but like I stopped following 100 miles of hate because I didn't want to just keep, and both of them really, because I didn't want to keep hearing about the other side. I get enough of that crap just following other Twitter accounts. I don't need to see, oh, Marshall signed this new recruit and MTSU got this guy. Who cares?
I'm 100% with you. 100%. I don't know if I unfollowed them because I did like some of the interactions during like game week.
Yeah.
But outside of game week, I think I definitely just don't pay attention at all.
So my ruling, I will rule. I believe I agree with you all. Marshall is a good rival in the short aspect, but we need history. MTSU and Western have history, and I think that's why Western fans care more. I think basketball-wise, I mean, they've stolen from us, we've stolen from them, we stole from football from them. I think it's more of they ruined our Cinderella season kind of thing. But I care more for Middle. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be impartial, but...
He's not being impartial. He didn't listen to your argument.
I did listen to his argument.
I won the facts base, and emotion matters. That's what rivalries are about. So,
and all Ross heard was, I win.
That's right.
Okay.
No, I conceded defeat. I'm just saying, hey, that's what's great about it. I think they're both good rivalries, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying my whole argument is Marshall is building into a good rivalry, and honestly, right now, it's been better than Middle recently. That's my whole argument. I'm not going to argue that Middle doesn't have more history than Marshall.
I mean, I'm okay with that part. But
I'll give you a hot take.
Unequivocally, Marshall's better? No, it's not yet.
I'll give you a hot take. Hot take, real quick.
No.
I believe in 5 years that ODU will be a bigger rival.
No, they're not close enough. They're 12 hours away.
I said hot take.
He didn't say good. He said hot. It's different. Yeah. Like Little Caesars, the pizza. It's hot and ready. Is it good? Yeah. No, it's hot and it's ready. I didn't say it was good.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Pizza.
I used to love that commercial when I was little.
We didn't have a Little Caesars, so I never really went. I never realized that pizza was because they gave you 2 pizzas. Did you?
Oh, really? No.
No, I didn't either.
I had no idea.
I never knew that.
We definitely
$5, baby.
Dude, on Tuesdays, I don't know if it's still a thing in Bowling Green, but there was a day, and I want to say it was like Tuesday afternoon, you could go, and because they don't like make the pizzas all the time, they just kind of have them.
They have them hot and ready.
I didn't say fresh. I said hot and ready. That's all I said. But you could go, instead of being the $5, they charge you like 2 or 3 just to get rid of these things. And we used to load up on that garbage and just like take them home because they were so cheap for so much food.
I will say their deep dish is really good. You will have the worst acid reflux for like the next 6 hours, but it's worth it.
It's worth it. Good to know. Especially since I put hot sauce.
Maybe that should be our next ranking of pizzas or something.
We should next write that down. Chain pizzas.
Chain pizzas. I'm actually, when we get into baseball season, we're actually going to try and do a tournament. I'm going to try and do a food bracket.
Lunch Madness.
Yes, because I love listening to that on other programs, and I think it's really fun
to do. Just like goofy stuff, yeah.
Yes, ranking pizza places.
Yeah. And we'll stick with like the chains that everybody knows instead of like, I
mean, would like a mellow mushroom that's kind of everywhere, would that count? Since there is one in Bowling Green.
Do we count mellow mushroom?
I think mellow mushroom goes into that next tier of like Impericelli's and like some and like.
Mellow mushroom is everywhere though, unlike Impericelli's. So.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's like A, count everywhere, and B, I think it's kind of unfair. They're like a tier above. They cost more. They're a better quality of ingredient. I'm talking like...
So do you count Gaddy's?
Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Gaddy's,
I would count Gaddy's, Little Caesars, Gaddy's. Because they're not... You can go eat you can stuff your face with like 30 slices for like $9. Like, come on now.
I seriously almost watched a family get in a fight at Gaddy's one time, and it was hilarious, but...
Hey man, you got if they steal tickets, that's a serious offense.
That's a story for next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Quick thing.
Okay.
Better be quick.
Let's like and rate the podcast. Let's give a shout out to the next person who actually rates the podcast on iTunes.
Yeah,
Yes.
seriously. Ratings
We
and,
have
and
one
comments are
person,
important.
so we'll give you a shout out. If you made it this far into the podcast, you rate us a good review.
God
We'll give you a
bless
shout out
you.
on the next episode.
Yes, we are sitting at an hour 25.
Jeez.
Holy crap.
So I knew we were going to go long, and that's what I told somebody
My wife
earlier
probably
off
is.
air. I was like, the hardest part is keeping this short.
It's fine. We'll slice it up and yeah.
Yeah. I know you all, if you made it this far listening to the full episode, thank you so much. I will cut this into clips because, God help us, nobody can listen to this whole thing. Unless you're just driving to ODU, you might get to listen to the whole thing. But
Yeah, right.
thank you all. Thanks to our listeners, our Saudi Arabian listeners, our American listeners. Love you guys. Go Tops.
That's right.
Go Tops.
Good job.
Go Tops.
And for Jared, go Tops.